Welcome back. I received from the college an email yesterday. Apparently they've disabled the USB ports on all the computers there. They don't want us bringing our own USB devices to the college. So what they've done for us is they've made a copy of the Windows 10 ISO file and they've put it on every computer. So every computer in the school has it. However, we do need to look at question 19. 19 is a little bit special, and because we don't have a USB device now, we have to find another way of doing it. So let's take a look here. So make sure Windows 10 is powered off. Go to the settings. Okay, and then go to storage. So we can see where Windows 10 is installed, and that's the ISO file. Let's highlight SATA and let's create an extra hard drive that we can partition. So instead of partitioning an external USB drive, we're going to be partitioning an extra hard drive that we're going to create right now. So let's click Add and we'll click Create, accept the default VDI file, accept the default. And we don't need it to be that big. Let's make it a little bit smaller. It only needs to be, I don't know, 6 gigabytes or so, 4 or 5 gigabytes. So we'll make it 6 gigabytes. We'll click Create, and we'll click Choose. Okay, so there it is. So instead of formatting your USB thumb drive on the weekend, you will be partitioning and formatting another virtual hard drive. So this is where Windows is installed. This is the ISO file, and this here is what we are going to be partitioning. Let's go ahead and start Windows now. After the virtual machine is started, you can type Computer Management. And then start the utility. And we can see here that we have local users and groups. So those of you who are not able to access that on your home computer because it was the home edition of Windows, you will have access to it like this. So what we're interested in right now is question 19. How are we going to do the partitioning without a USB thumb drive? So let's click on Disk Management. And Windows should detect that new virtual hard drive that we installed. And there it is. It's prompting us to initialize that new hard drive, Disk 1. And it's going to use something called a master boot record. So let's go ahead and click OK. And we can see here the original drive where Windows is installed, C drive. We can see our DVD down here. This is the ISO file, and this is the new hard drive that we now have available to us, and we can partition it as much as we want. So you notice the color is black, it's unallocated, and we can now do question 19 using this unallocated space instead of a USB thumb drive. So let's go ahead and right-click. We're going to select New Simple Volume. And we want to use about 1/3 of this space. So I used 6 gigs total, so I'm going to estimate that to about 2 gigs for about 1/3. We click Next. Now, according to question 19, we need to select drive letter T. We're going to format it with NTFS. So NTFS is the advanced file system, which supports very large file systems. And FAT is more limited, less security, and it supports much smaller file systems. So we'll choose NTFS. And just like we did before, we're going to give it a volume label, Practice 1. And we're going to do a quick format. This just simply clears out the table of files, the index of files. If we uncheck it, it's going to do a low-level format and go sector by sector on the hard drive and actually remove the data there. And we don't want to do that because that's going to take a very long time. So make sure you have quick format selected, which just simply wipes out the index of files. We click Next. There's a summary of what we're about to do, and we click Finish. We can see T right there. It's an NTFS partition, and now we have a new storage area to place our files. So if we click File Explorer, you'll notice on the left-hand side, if you scroll down, there is a new drive there, drive letter T. That is what we just created. So we made a partition, we formatted it, and now we can use it. Now we can start putting files on it, just like any other partition. So let's go ahead, finish off question 19. So let's right-click, create a second partition. Again, use about 1/3 of the total space, so another 2 gigs. We click Next. And I think we need to use drive letter U. And this time the question says instead of using NTFS, use FAT. I'm going to use FAT32. It's a better file system. It supports long file names. It's a more advanced version of FAT. So let's go ahead and select it. And again, we are doing a quick format. We click Next. Finish. And now we have a drive letter U. So this is going to be our substitute here for a USB thumb drive. We're not able to use any USB thumb drives in the school. Instead, what we will do is we will create an extra virtual hard drive in VirtualBox, and when we boot it up, we'll be able to format it exactly the same way. If you have any questions or anything, please email me and I'll be answering questions after 6 o'clock. Please don't wait for the last minute. Get in touch with me ASAP.